Hello. So, let's have a look into the thought experience. And go to the source of mind, the source of thinking. The assumption is that my thoughts are my own and they're coming from me. They're created by me. My internal world is me and it's controlled by me. So let's have a look at that internal world. Is it here? So we could turn our attention to the space of thought, the space of thinking. Simultaneously hold your attention in the senses, any sense that feels most clear or overt to you. I'm going to do the visual sense. Or you can hold attention in this physical, visceral experience of this body in this world. And then we'll just wait for the next thought. We're curious about thought, we're attentive to exploring it, exploring what it is. What is this internal world made of? If these are my thoughts, then we're going to go to the apparent me that's the source of these thoughts. So in the physical world, in the sensory appearance, hold our attention there and ask what will be the next thought. And wait for it to move, wait for something to come in. When the thought appears in experience, just see if it's appearing apart from the totality of experience. Is it appearing inside something called you? Inside the head? Where is it? Where is the thought that moves? Where does it feel like it is? So if it's appearing in the head here, that's fine. If it's appearing up here and back, somewhere floating around here, seeming to be local to your head where you are, That's fine. Now we're going to move it outside of the head. In imagination, in the visual somewhere, project out a thought into the visual experience in imagination and see it somewhere else, over there. Imagine something, an object, an animal, whatever you like, an alien, a floating Buddha. If you don't have a strong imagination visually, that's fine. You can use language or words and, hear it. Over there somewhere as like a imagination of a sound. So when you do that, does the thought feel still like it's in here? For example, I can have a thought experience that appears in the visual field with the augmentation that says it's over there. It's like a distortion in the spatial projection. If you imagine a sound or like language or any sound you like in thought, so you're hearing it, so make that sound in your mind and kind of seems like you're hearing the thought, you're seeing the thought when you project out this imagination. If this is tricky, do it with your eyes closed. You might be able to see the thought better. Now move it to the body and imagine a sensation somewhere. So like a hot sensation in your leg or an ice cold sensation in your fingers or anything. Just be imaginative with it, because this is a free exploration. You see how the thought can mimic the senses? Where is the thought though? Do this as much as you like, take your time with it. So when you project out these thought versions in imagination of the sense experience, it refers to what we know as the sense experience, the seen, the heard, the sense, the touch. But the substance of thought has a certain quality to it that is the same across those three imagined thought projections. Hear the sound of make the sound in the thought and hear it out there in the distance. See it out there in the distance. Where actually is it? Where is the thought? Where does it feel like it is when I do that? So if I imagine a T-Rex over there stomping around in the car park, and the sound of it roaring and stomping and the vibrations of it coming through it, I can imagine that. You can put the attention so it seems like it's over there, and then you can put the attention so it seems like it's back here. So where is it, or this substance of thought? Is it everywhere or nowhere? Is it in here or out there? You might notice that you can't really find it. It can seem to take on the qualities of the three-dimensional world and be there, so that you can objectively look at it and think, that's my imagination over there. But it's not really here in the same way as the sense experience is. You can't really find it. It's ghost-like. It can adopt any form, morph, move and change. When you hear the sound as loud and vivid as you can, it's, similar qualities to sound, but it's different. It has this substance of mind to it. It's awake, aware, alive, conscious, self-aware knowingness as its substance. But it's not local. It can adopt any position. It can seem to be anywhere, but it's not actually anywhere. But there is a thinking experience. There is the experience of thought. So then close your eyes, go into this internal world, and then imagine a ridiculous scenario that, like a movie. Something mad. I'll just let you be creative with it. Like you did when you were a child. You'd imagine these fantastic and ridiculous scenarios that are, very much don't line up with the experience of life as it is now. And imagine you're watching it like a movie. Is there a you watching it? Now move yourself into the movie as the protagonist in this world. So you're in it now. You're the center point. You're moving around through it, whatever's going on. And then just imagine that center point, that protagonist in this unreal experience that we're creating. Disappearing into the substance of the movie, the substance of thought. Disappearing into the fabric of the experience of this imagination. So is there still a you in that? What happens there when the protagonist, the you viewpoint, disappears into the substance of thought? Where does it pull back to? Does it pull back to a viewpoint, a position, a watcher, a me that's experiencing this, that's relating to this experience of internal world? Okay, now we're going to calm down the movements. So you can do this with the eyes open or the eyes closed. It might be easier with the eyes closed, but look at the substance of that thought material. Look how it's infinitely flexible. It can move, morph, change, take different shapes. It always seems to be moving. Appear in images, language, sight, sensation, sound, representations of sense experience. They become more interested in the substance of that. How does it move? How does it change? Is it inclined to appear as a language of narrative? A sequence of different images? Events in time? If you're in touch with the substance of thought, then allow it to morph and move and change and shapeshift. But be interested in its ghost-like, infinitely flexible substance. Experience it moving, move with it. Move with the energy of thought, morphing, moving, changing. Go with it. Allow it to move you. Become it. Become interested in its substance, the substance of what you are. Aware, conscious, awake, just here, now. So now, without trying to change the movements within thought, we're going to become aware of the me that's having this experience. Does it share the qualities of the substance of thought, the movements within it? Because what you are is aware of the movements of this thought stuff, this thought substance. Are you apart from it? Can you find the you in it? Where is it? Are you all of it? Or are you holding a view looking at it? Where is that you in the thought? When you look for this, thought might kind of subside and calm down. Then it might come up hard to kind of reinforce that view. But we're looking at yourself in the thinking experience. You as the substance of thought, all the movements that appear within your self-awareness. Now we're interested in what you are that is the self-awareness. That is the thought. The thought is aware of itself. So now there might be a movement to contextualize this in the shapes and forms and the context, the content of the thought. It will take the form, you as thought, as the substance of thinking, may take the form of something to try and represent yourself. Represent what I am, come to a conceptual, thought-based conclusion. Notice that movement and notice that you are that. You are the awareness that is that. Thoughts are aware of themselves as you. Where are you in that? Are you back here looking at it? Are you containing all the thoughts as a subject, the thoughts appearing within me, being apart from me? Where is the you in it? Because you are aware of all of it. So what you are spans the totality of the thinking experience. The wide awake consciousness in which these thoughts move, morph and change. can't be found in it anywhere. It can't take it can take a form in it and represent what you are in the movements of thought, but what you are is aware of that, is the awareness that is made of. So any movement in thought is merely a conceptual representation of you. What you are is shapeless, is formless. It isn't separate from the shapes and forms in thought. It can morph and move and shape shift and change into any form. So it's the limitless potential to be all forms in this imagined dream. In that it has all forms, it is formless. What you are is formless. It doesn't have a specific form. Can't be located because you're everywhere. It can't be captured by the known, the conceptual forms and shapes and images that appear in mind. Can't be captured because you're all of it. When you look for yourself, what am I that is aware? Sometimes the thoughts will calm down, and what you are that is the substance of that, all of it, gets a little bit clearer. Being completely at rest, completely infinite, completely mysterious, but wide awake and aware, self-knowing. You keep looking back towards the source of mind. What is the source of this thinking experience? What am I that is aware? Can relax down to just this inherent self-knowingness, this inherent self-aware consciousness. That's the substance of experiencing that is here, wide awake and aware, when the substance of you relaxes down into an undefinable, shapeless, formless infinity. And see that what you are can then form and take the shape of anything. That's why you can describe your identity in many ways, why your identity changes a lot throughout your life. Because we're identified with the shapes and forms within this, the substance of what we are. We're limiting ourselves to a shape and a form, something like an object that's definable. Our idea of ourselves, what we are, is something that appears within what we are, as an image, as an idea, as a concept, as part of the dream, like the protagonist in that imagination experiment that we did. It's just an imagination, but it ends up feeling like you, like what we are. You see how powerful the mind is to create a world, to create images and, create a story out of them that, can feel like energetically and emotionally moving, real. And that's how we relate to the world, in this unreal, imagined way that isn't actually here. So you probably should have done that with the eyes closed for the best effect, but now open the eyes if they're not open already, and compare that internal world to the sense experience. It's all here, it's all what you are, but make a comparison in the felt realness of the movements as believable within this thought space, within this imagination. And then compare that to the immediate sense experience. See that there's something about the sense experience that the thoughts can't capture, can't truly represent. And that's what you are, what the thought is made of, its substance, its source. Can't be represented accurately, can't be captured. The substance of thought is made of the same substance as the substance of the sense experience, the appearance. It's all one, it's all what you are. But seemingly part of it, this mind sense, kind of gets out of control in its ability to mimic and reflect and represent this that's here and now. And it does that somewhere else, in a world that's not here. We internalize that, focus that into this spatial assumption that I'm in here and I relate to this world out there, and then we relate to a representation of what actually is, that is created in this incredibly powerful, dreamlike, unlocatable space of thinking. We imagine ourselves as an object here relating to objects out there in a world that's apart from me. And that's when it gets uncomfortable, because we're disconnected from the totality of experience. We're disconnected from our source, our substance, because we believe we're part of this, a limited protagonist that is created in imagination. It's an interesting experiment to just look at thought, really look at it for what it is, investigate its substance, its source, investigate it as it is here now with the totality of experience, and see that when we go into this real feeling internal world, we're focusing on an object that is created as an image or a concept within it, made of the substance of mind, the substance of thought. We create a part of this to identify with and hyper focus on that, and we forget its source, its substance, the self-knowing conscious awareness that mind is made of. The self-knowing awareness that is the totality of experience. So then we can open out. And appreciate this appearance as what we are, including everyone in it. Because we're not pulling attention into this locality, this fiction. Anyway, I'm going to have to go now, but that'll do it for now, and I'll talk to you next time.